Get started. Thank you all for being patient with us. Welcome, everyone. My name is Erica Knowles, and I am here with two of my wonderful colleagues. I have Vanessa Lumen, and then I also have Miss Annie Riley here tonight to we're going to facilitate for this wonderful topic of paying yourself. First, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping rules and items. We will be addressing all questions at the end of the presentation. So if you could please hold on to your thoughts and questions until the end, that would be wonderful. This session is going to be recorded in both English and also in Spanish to ensure accessibility for all participants. So you will be given the option in just a moment to select a breakout room. So we're going to have two different breakout rooms. One will be for English and one will be for Spanish. Once we complete the breakout rooms and separate out into our breakout sessions, we will reconvene back in this main room at the end for the questions from the group. So that's why we want you to hold on to them. So to help streamline this process, you can hold on to them, and then as soon as we get back into this main room, then you'll be able to post those into the chat. Okay, now we're ready. So the information contained here has been prepared by Civitas Strategies and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. The Civitas Strategies team has used reasonable efforts in collecting, preparing, and providing this information, but does not guarantee its accuracy, completeness, adequacy, or currency. The publication and distribution of this information are not intended to create, and receipt does not constitute an attorney-client or any other advisory relationship. Reproduction of this information is expressly prohibited. Only non-commercial uses of this work are permitted. Okay. Before we get started, I wanted to add this slide here. If you could add to the chat either one of the words that you see on the screen or something that you would like to add that's not on the screen, but how you currently feel about paying yourself, and what kind of feelings come to you when you think about paying yourself. We're going to come back to it in just a minute, so you have a few seconds, but wanted to put that up there. So if you could just add a word or two to the chat, that would be wonderful. As childcare providers, you dedicate yourself tirelessly to nurturing and educating the children in your care. Your work is invaluable, and you are shaping the future of our communities, one child at a time, which sounds a little cliche, but it's very true. However, too often in this very noble pursuit, the financial well-being of the providers like yourselves can really take a back seat. And it is common, that we hear in the childcare industry, but really it is something that needs to change. So that's why we are here today. So today we're going to attempt to shift the narrative in a meaningful way. We are going to dive into why paying yourself is not just important, but also crucial for both your personal financial health as well as the sustainability of your business. So we will explore practical methods on how to implement a regular payment system, taking into account the unique challenges of what you face in this childcare industry. Also, we are going to help guide you through the process of determining how much you should pay yourself, as well as balancing your personal needs with your financial realities of your business. So throughout our discussion, we will emphasize that paying yourself regularly isn't just about personal gain, which sometimes childcare providers feel. It really is an essential practice for the health and growth of your childcare business. We will touch on some of the next steps for your business once you've established a regular payment system. By the end of this session, you'll have a roadmap, not just for paying yourself, but also for potentially growing and definitely strengthening your childcare business as a whole. So let's take a minute and look at the chat to see if what everybody had to say as far as how they feel. So I see some anxiety, avoidance, beneficial, anxiety and fear and beneficial. Okay, for sure. I kind of wanted to put those up there. One, definitely to find out how, kind of get a pulse for the room, but also so that you all realize that you're not alone. This is a very common topic that childcare providers have a lot of anxiety and fear over. So very, very common to feel those things. So hopefully by the end of today's session, you will have some better feelings about paying yourself. So let's begin by acknowledging a widespread situation in the childcare industry that many of you may find very familiar. Then we'll discuss how we can transform it into a story of financial empowerment and also business success. So here are a few compelling reasons why paying yourself should be a priority. Although there are many reasons to pay yourself regularly, we are going to point out the two that are most significant. First and foremost, it's essential to recognize that regular pay is not just beneficial, but also critical for you and your family. As childcare providers, you dedicate yourselves to creating a nurturing environment for children, pouring your heart and your soul in energy into this vital work. However, in the midst of caring for others, it's imperative not to neglect your own financial well-being. So consider this, like everyone else, you have a lot of expenses and costs that demand your regular attention. Your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, food, and countless other necessities. These financial obligations don't pause or disappear just because you're running a childcare business, right? I wish I could make them or do that for you, but unfortunately we can't. So by ensuring that you have the cash on hand to meet your obligations, you're taking a significant step toward maintaining financial stability. This stability, in turn, is going to help you to avoid the potential pitfall of relying on credit cards to bridge financial gaps, which is a practice that can lead to mounting debt and also increased stress on you and your business. Furthermore, regular income provides you with the foundation to plan for your future with confidence. Whether your aspirations involve saving for a comfortable retirement someday, everyone deserves to think about retirement someday, or investing in further education for yourself to enhance your skills, or pursuing personal goals that bring you fulfillment and joy into your life that doesn't have anything to do with your work. A steady income is going to make these dreams attainable for you. It allows you to look beyond just making ends meet and start building the future that you envision for yourself and your loved ones. But the advantages of paying yourself regularly far exceed beyond your personal finances. They significantly benefit your business as well. Looking toward the future, This approach to your finances can prove invaluable when you're seeking to grow or stabilize your business. Whether you're applying for loans to expand your services or seeking investors to support your vision, having a clear record of regular pay demonstrates that you are financially responsible and that you have business acumen. You are an entrepreneur, you are running a business. So that is very important. It shows that you understand the value of your work and are committed to running a sustainable professional operation. Despite the incredible dedication and tireless effort that you pour into your work, sometimes a regular income feels frustratingly out of reach for many providers. The financial pattern, unfortunately, gives rise to a series of challenges that can impact both your professional life and also your business's operations. The irregularity of income makes it exceptionally difficult to plan for your financial future with any certainty at all. You may find yourself juggling bills, never quite sure when you'll be able to cover all of your expenses comfortably. This financial uncertainty often leads to increased stress as the pressure of meeting your own basic needs becomes a constant concern. This can then lead to burnout. Moreover, this situation can have far reaching consequences for your business itself. When you're focused on just getting by, it becomes challenging to think about growth for you and your business. Opportunities for expanding your services, upgrading your facilities, or even investing in your personal development may pass you by simply because the financial resources aren't readily available when you need them. So it is vital that you understand that this doesn't have to be your reality. Regular pay isn't just a distant dream, it is achievable, and it's an achievable goal that can bring substantial benefits to both you and your childcare business as a whole. By implementing a system of regular pay, you can create a more stable financial foundation, you can reduce your own stress, and position your business for sustainable growth and success as well. So take a moment to consider the profound impact that regular pay can have on your personal life. By implementing a consistent payment schedule, you create a stable financial foundation for yourself. This stability allows you to keep up with your own bills and expenses without the constant worry of whether you'll have enough funds when they're due. You'll find yourself better equipped to handle routine costs like rent or mortgage, or utilities or groceries, other necessities. There's so many, right? The expenses never quit. Again, regular pay can help you break free from the cycle of relying on credit cards to cover personal expenses. This reduction in credit card usage can lead to significant savings on interest payments and also improve your overall financial health. It's going to improve your credit score, which in turn is going to improve your overall health. Perhaps most importantly, a steady income is going to enable you to plan for your financial future with greater certainty. Whether it's saving for retirement, setting aside money for your own children's education or vacation, or simply building an emergency fund. Regular pay is going to provide the consistency needed to achieve your long-term financial goals. Sorry. From a business perspective, the benefits of paying yourself regularly are equally significant. By treating your own compensation as a regular business expense, you're taking a crucial step in professionalizing your operation. This shift in mindset and practice can change how you view your business and how others perceive it as well. Regular pay can also open doors to various funding opportunities. Many financial assistance programs require proof of consistent income or payroll. And by paying yourself regularly, you position your business to qualify for these potential resources. Also, this practice is going to help you more accurately assess the true financial health of your childcare business. When you own a or when you your own pay is factored into your regular expenses, you get a clearer picture of your business's profitability and also sustainability as well. As we move forward, it's important to keep one fundamental truth in mind. Your work as a childcare provider is incredibly valuable, and you absolutely deserve to be paid regularly for it. The care, education, the support that you provide to the children and the families is essential, and your compensation should reflect that fact. So once you understand the importance of paying yourself, it is imperative that you learn how to do it effectively, right? So let's talk about that. So we strongly recommend setting up a separate business bank account as your first step. This is a critical step in professionalizing your childcare business because it keeps your business and your personal money separate, making it clear when you are paying yourself, or what we call an owner's draw. So when you're paying yourself, and when money is staying in your childcare business. It's going to simplify your bookkeeping and your tax preparation as well. And it can also help establish your business's credibility with clients and financial institutions as well. So setting up a business bank account isn't difficult, and it is the best first step to ensure that you are clearly separating your personal and business costs and also revenue. Once set up, you will easily see, taking the blinders off, and actually see what money is in your business versus what money is in your own pocket. Again, separating those two. When choosing a bank for your business, you're going to want to consider a few things. You're going to want to look at, do they charge monthly usage fees? Are there minimum balance requirements? Are there limits on transactions? Do they have online banking? Is there a bank that's close by to you if there is not online banking that's convenient for you? Those are the types of questions that you want to think about when you start looking at choosing a bank. So let's talk about choosing a bank. Relationships are important, just like every other type of business that you want to join forces with. You should feel a relationship with that bank as well. You may want to use the financial institution that holds your personal accounts already, and that's fine. Having an established relationship with your bank may allow you some access to financial support, such as a business loan or a line of credit to support growing your business if you would like to do that. However, even if you really like the bank that you have now for your personal usage, we suggest looking at one or two other banks to ensure that you are getting the best option for your business. Even if you like your current bank, it really is worth comparing offers. Think about how the bank treats you when you walk in the door. Are they eager to help you and talk to you? If they're not eager to talk to you when you walk in the door and you're a potential customer to them, they're probably not going to be eager to help you if an issue arises and you need them. So if a bank appears friendly and welcoming, again, you should consider these questions. Does the bank require a minimum amount to open your account or a minimum amount to be kept in your account? Understanding how much money may be tied up in your account is really important. If the bank requires, for you to keep a minimum balance, it is then going to be money that you're not going to be able to access easily if you have bills to pay or you want to pay yourself. So keep that question in mind. The next one is, are there fees associated with the account? And if so, what are they? A lot of banks do have fees, and that's okay, but you need to be aware of what those fees are. So again, very often banks will make a fair amount of money off of having small fees that add up quickly. And you will need to factor them into your routine expenses, because that will be an expense that you will have to pay. The next question is, how many checks can you write a month, or how many transactions or deposits can you make? Some banks will place limits on the number of checks, transactions, and deposits that can be made in a certain billing period. So after you reach that threshold, then they're going to charge you a fee for every transaction that you do. Again, this is going to erode at the money that you have in the account. Each fee is going to eat away at your money. So again, you want to make sure that you are aware and knowledgeable, about those things. And then the last one is, will you need a debit or credit card for your business? Be thinking about if you want to have access to a debit card or the ability to use a credit card through your bank, and be sure to ask if these are included in the account. Keep in mind that fees add up quickly. So be sure to choose an account that best fits your business needs and the volume of transactions that you use. So to determine an appropriate amount to pay yourself is very important. We strongly recommend developing a comprehensive monthly budget for your childcare business. So this process involves meticulous tracking of your actual income and your expenses over time. By doing this, you're going to gain a clear understanding of how much money flows into your business and also goes out of your business. So when it flows in, that's your tuition, your fees, any subsidies, your CACFP money, if you're a part of that program. Equally, it's just as important for you to have a clear picture of your monthly expenses as well. All of the bills that you have to pay, you need to know exactly how much you need to pay each month. The budgeting process goes well beyond mere record keeping. It allows you to visualize in actual concrete terms the financial ups and downs of your childcare business so that you are able to make changes if you know that something's coming up in the future. You can be proactive instead of reactive. With the information at hand, you can be more accurately access the impact that paying yourself will have on your overall budget. You'll be able to see exactly where your personal draw is going to fit into the larger picture of your childcare financials. Moreover, the budgeting process can reveal potential areas where you might need to make a few adjustments. You might need to adjust your pricing or cut costs or seek additional funding to assure that paying yourself regularly is sustainable in the long term. It should be something that's just like your mortgage. It is just a bill that you have to pay. So here are 4 easy steps to build a monthly budget if you do not already have one. So step one is to gather documentation. You want to pull together 2 to 3 months of documents that shows your income as well as your expenses. So some documents that you could pull together could include your bank statements, your credit card statements, your Venmo or PayPal, however parents pay you, transactions, your utility bills, any other records of ways that you either receive money or you spend money. You want to make sure that you're gathering all of those documents. Try to use actual amounts of your income and your costs when possible. So for greater accuracy, it will help you a lot if you can use the actual amounts. If you don't have the actual amounts for everything, that's okay. You can use an average. You might not know exactly what your electric bill is going to be every month, and that's okay. But you can kind of have an idea of what it's going to be, right? The next thing you want to do for step two is to list all of your income. So that's money that's coming into your business. Determine an accurate monthly income. You will need to first calculate the money that you will bring in based on the number of children you have in your care at the different rates that you charge. So you may charge different rates for different age groups. You need to make sure that you are, adding all of that up correctly and that you are able to determine that accurate monthly income amount. So some income categories could include the subsidy, if you take subsidy, the fees that parents pay, whether that be parent tuition, late fee payments, registration fees, waitlist fees, all the fees, supply fees, any other fees that you charge, any grants that you have received. And then also in the other category would be like the CACFP food program or any other monies that you receive. For step three is your expenses. You want to list all of your expenses. If you are offering childcare in your home, you may need to use the time space percentage for that. This is going to help you to understand what part of your home's expenses could be and should be covered by your business. So put simply, your time percent for home providers is calculated by adding up the number of hours that you are using your home for business purposes, and then taking that number and dividing it by the total number of hours in a year. And there are 8,760 hours in a year. So that's your time percent. For your space percent, that is calculated by dividing the number of square feet of your home that you use regularly for your childcare business. Divide that by the total number of square feet in your home. So that's your space percent. Step four is you want to track your actuals and build next month. So once you have your monthly budget mapped out and you find your planned profit by taking all your revenue and subtracting your expenses, if it's positive, you're making a profit, which is great. And if it's negative, you're going to be running at a loss. So you're going to need some extra money somehow, some way to get by. Next, you will need to track what you are receiving and what you are spending each month. Write down those expenses and revenue. Aim to build your budget over time. But having this budget is really going to help you whenever you are paying yourself. Understanding your cash flow is another great way to determine how much you should pay yourself. Your business's cash flow describes the amount of money coming in and leaving your business and when. So, for example, your revenue maybe $5,000 for the month. So you bring in $5,000 a month and your expenses are only $3,000. So you have plenty of money each month, right? Sounds like it. However, if your bills are due on the 10th of the month and you don't receive your tuition, all of your tuition until the 30th of the month, that's a problem. That's going to be you still living off of credit cards or some other way to pay those bills. So having a cash flow is going to help you through that process. So very important document as well. So let's talk about how you can develop a cash flow. So we have 5 steps to help you develop a cash flow. The first one, just like with budget, is to pull together 2 to 4 months of documents that show your income and your expenses. So just like step 1 with your budget. Then you want to pick a time frame. So try to choose a time frame that's long enough to allow you to make decisions beyond 1 to 2 months, but also short enough, maybe, you don't want to go out a year for sure. So maybe just a month or 2. And then step 3 is to list all of your income. Categorize the money that comes in each month and be sure that those are accurate numbers. And then step 4 is to list your expenses. Categorize that money that goes out every month. Step 5 is to review the trends. So your total cash flow over the next 6 months will be the total amounts of revenue, the money that's coming in, minus the total amounts of expenses, the money that's going out. So you can see your cash flow, again, is going to be very important when you are getting ready to start paying yourself. This is going to tell you when you need to save money from 1 month to the next month. So now look at your remaining cash flow and ask yourself, is it sufficient to cover your personal expenses and those of your family? Remember that paying yourself should be treated like any other necessary expense that is essential to run the operation of your business. If you find that you cannot pay yourself as much as you would like, or if you're hesitant to even, that your program maybe isn't making enough profit, it's time to evaluate some things. You really need to, again, take off those blinders and look at some things. Can you reduce your costs without compromising the quality of your care? Is there a way that you can reduce your costs? Can you, find things cheaper? Or again, there's so many different ways to reduce costs. You need to look at everything. Are there ways to increase your revenue, such as adjusting your rates? When was the last time you did a rate increase? Is there more space in your facility? And you're able to take more children, expand your services. Remember that it's okay to start small. Even a modest regular payment to yourself is a step in the right direction. You can always increase it as your business grows or as you become a little less scared. You can always start to increase it then. The last thing I want to mention here is to be mindful of your tax obligations. Set some money aside to cover taxes so you're not caught off guard during tax season. By following these steps, you will be able to determine a sustainable amount to pay yourself with respect both to your personal needs and also the financial health of your childcare business. So far, we've covered why it's important to pay yourself and how to figure out how much to pay yourself. So now the next couple slides, we're going to talk about how do you actually do it? It sounds great. Now what? So once your business bank account is set up, And you will then need to decide how you'll pay yourself. So there are two recommended methods. One is to do what I said earlier, which is take an owner's draw. So that means you're going to pay yourself using writing a check to yourself or transferring the money from your business account to your personal account. But either way, that's what taking a draw is called for your childcare business. It's very straightforward. Simply, transfer that money into your account. You want to make sure that when you're doing that you are keeping track of that. So that again, you're able to, for tax time and everything, have that information. The other option is to become a W-2 employee. This method is not available for all business structures, but it can provide some additional benefits. Liability protection, also can provide some tax benefits as well. But again, it's not available to all types of businesses. You will want to make sure that you are reaching out to a tax professional to, find out if or even an attorney to help you, to guide you through the process to figure out if you should become a W-2 employee or write yourself a check and do it an owner's draw. Again, it's something that definitely has its benefits. However, it's not for everyone. So we highly recommend that you reach out to a tax professional or an attorney to help you through that process. So there are a few steps that we came up with to get you started, and this is kind of our roadmap. So again, the first one is to open that business bank account. That is your very first step to get you on the right track to start paying yourself. Watch out for those bank fees. Remember to shop around. The next one is to know what is coming into your business and what is going out. Know those numbers. This way, you will be able to make an informed decision of how you can realistically pay yourself. Commit to an amount, even if it's low at first. Commit to that amount and stick to it. And then keep track of your draws. Keep track of that. The IRS wants to know exactly how much you're getting paid and you're paying yourself. So you really need to keep track of that. So be mindful of those tax obligations. Remember that making the decision to pay yourself is a huge leap, and it can be a very scary leap. But these 5 steps are going to help you to get there, to take that leap. So as we wrap up the presentation today, let's just take a moment and recap some of what we've covered. So the value of paying yourself, we discussed how paying yourself isn't just good for you personally, but it's essential for the health and professionalism of your business. We also talked about how to prepare your foundation. We emphasized the critical step in separating your personal finances from your business finances. We talked about implementing your payment system. We covered 2 main methods of paying yourself, whether that be through taking an owner's draw or becoming a W-2 employee. Then we went through the 5 steps to get you started, which is opening a business bank account, knowing what comes in and goes out of your business, commit to an amount, keep track of your draws, and also be mindful of your tax obligations. So remember that paying yourself isn't just about the money, it's about valuing you and the work that you do. It can start off small. It's a big jump to even start off small. So just know even a little bit is going to make a big difference. I encourage you to take at least one action from the steps that we went over tonight to helpfully, get you set on the path to paying yourself. Okay, so The next thing we'll do is we are going to leave this room and go back to the main room for some questions, okay? So if you could go ahead and leave this breakout room to go back to the main room.
If I'm self-employed, I'll pay my employees. I can pay myself too. I can just write a check, right, to myself, or I can
Yes.
just add myself to the payroll.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Do I need
Yes.
someone to tell me yes, no, like the accountant, or I just can just add on myself right now to the payroll?
Yes, yes, we recommend that you still reach out to, do you have someone who does your payroll for you, Paulina?
I don't know if you're familiar with QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Yes, them.
Okay, so
I
I would
have my
definitely,
daughter and my daughter and my two daughters.
okay. So I would definitely still reach out to them and just double check to make sure, they would not recommend any, thing specific, but absolutely you can go ahead and start add yourself to the payroll. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I'm a self-employee, but I'm just what is it called? Sole prop.
Sole
That,
proprietor.
yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
So
that
definitely reach out to QuickBooks Payroll and ask those, any specific questions that you may have. But yes, it is time for you to start paying yourself. That's great.
because at the end of the year, I just whatever is left, that was for me. That was it. I never run payroll for me. I never see what I get paid for myself.
Oh, wow.
No, never. And
Okay. Well,
I forgot. Yeah,
this
tell
would
me.
be a big step for you.
Yes, a lot of tracking now. I noticed.
Yes. Yes. A lot of tracking. Make sure you're keeping track of everything. Yes. Yes.
Okay, because they also told me to change to LLC.
Now you can look into that as well. And Paulina, I'm not going to, I mean, that is not my superpower.
Mm-hmm.
But we can definitely, I know that there are more resources on the Crisare website. And I don't know, Annie, can you put I'm sure you probably may know that, Paulina, but
The person that does my taxes at the end of the year, well, for the end of the year, he just told me I would recommend you like change your business to LLC because you make too much. That way you can start paying yourself. But he didn't mention that we can pay ourselves right now.
yes, yes. So you can definitely pay yourself. An LLC definitely has its advantages. And part of that is, tax advantages. Again, it's not something that I am super well versed in, and I really don't want to go. But we do have a lot of team members that are extremely well versed in it. And there is also a lot of information on your Crisare, New Mexico website. Okay, so really quickly, we are over our time. I did just put up on the screen a QR code that you can scan. If you have questions, the Tom Copeland blog has a ton of information. Also in the chat is the New Mexico Crisare website that also has a lot more resources on there for you all. Does anyone, if you do have a question, you can please add it to the chat and we can get to it here in the next couple minutes. We'll stay on just a few more minutes.
It does look like we may have two questions in the chat. Vanessa.
Yes. Okay, so Nabia is asking if they can pay themselves extra. Like the time that they spend like filling out forms, planning.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they can do that.
Mm-hmm. How much they should be paying themselves.
So
and
that
how they
is,
can-
I'm sorry. So
No.
yeah, that's gonna depend on their cash flow and their budget and
Their
how
budget.
much, yeah, and how much they can afford.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's gonna be individually up to them.
Yeah. She has an accountant.
Okay, so I would recommend, just because it's not something that I'm super familiar with, I would recommend that she speak to her accountant. And again, I'm not sure like what type of business she is and all of those things. So I would suggest she speak to her accountant.
Oh, I'm sorry, Erica. She's
You're
just
fine.
asking if we knew of any accountants that know more about childcare businesses. She's had some bad experiences with accountants, but maybe if any of the participants have an accountant that have worked with them, maybe they can share on the chat.
Leah saying, where is she located?
Deming, New Mexico.
Okay, Leah's saying she's in Albuquerque. Oh. I don't know if that's close or not, sorry.
Did she leave, Erica? Leah?
No, she says she's looking for her email address. Vanessa, is she putting her email address in?
She is.
Okay, okay. Leah, she's adding her email address. Thank you so much, Leah, for doing this. So if you can then write down Libya's email. There you go.
There it is.
All right, thank you
Hasta
all so
luego.
much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a great night.
Bye. You too.